Hey everybody, Kelson here from PSP Boarding. Today, I'm excited to bring to you a lower body strength training session. Before we get into the nitty-gritties of the session, we do have to review our disclaimer. So the focus for today's session is going to be a lower body strength session. I'm going to be targeting our quads, our hamstrings, our glutes, as well as our hip flexors throughout the session. So let's go through the exercises that we're going to do. I'll show you kind of a level 1, 2, 3 variation that you can use to adjust the workout to your own ability. We're going to start with the first block. The objective here is we're going to be working for about 10 minutes. We're trying to complete 50 reps of our split squat and 25 repetitions of our hamstring sliders. So let's go through the split squat first. You'll notice that I have here an elevated platform as well as some external assistance for balance. This is going to be really good for those who already have kind of bad knees, or their balance isn't so great, or they're just not very confident with this exercise, okay? So the objective here is we're working on keeping this back leg extended, and this front leg is going to come up onto my elevated surface. The idea here is I'm going to use my external support to help assist me up out of the position as I need. As we start to become more comfortable, you can do this same kind of knees over toes lunge without the external assistance. From there, we can try to find a lower platform. If you don't have a lower platform, you can go to the floor and just be careful with how much range of motion we're going to be using. So again, I start tall, I step my back leg back, I keep this leg in extension, so that means that my glute's going to be flexed the whole time. I'm trying to squat down into my front leg so that that knee starts to come over the toes. Some things to look for here is we don't want this heel to come up off the floor, and we don't want that back knee to touch the ground, okay? If those are things that are happening, it's a good indication that you need to elevate your front foot to get the adequate range of motion. So that's our first exercise. Basically, the progression is having external assistance for balance and helping you out of the hole, as well as elevating your front foot. The regressions are just finding a level of platform or on the ground that you can do this exercise without pain, okay? From there, we have our hamstring sliders. I have my handy dandy piece of paper towel here because it slides well on the floor. Worst case scenario, if you don't have a sliding surface, you can do walkouts and just use baby steps. I'll give you guys a demonstration here. I start off on my back, I'm gonna bridge my hips, and I'm sliding my legs so that my legs become straight, but I can still pass my hand underneath my hips. I'm gonna reposition here, hopefully so you guys can see what I'm getting at. I'm just gonna readjust my mat here. Big thing is keep the pressure of your heels down into the ground. Dig your elbows to get a little bit of extra support. Keep your glutes engaged and your hips scooped towards the ceiling. And lengthen and curl. So if the full range of motion is too hard, you can practice just doing eccentrics. So just the lowering phase, and then you reset and bridge your hips. You can do eccentric and concentric, that would be level 2, and then level 3 would be doing both with a single leg. Eccentric, concentric, and then other side. Eccentric, concentric. So those will be the first exercises that we do. The next exercise block that we're looking at is going to be a lean back, so a quad-based exercise, and then a pike, a hip flexor-based exercise. For the lean back, again, if you've never done this before, it could be beneficial to have something that's pretty high that will help reduce range of motion as we go into our exercise. So I start off kneeling, my feet are relaxed, I'm nice and tall. I have this box here to support me, so this can be your sofa, a chair, really whatever. The objective here is my glutes are squeezed, my chin is tucked, I exhale, and as I lean back, I'm trying not to flex or extend my spine. I'm going as far back as I can while maintaining a neutral spine. Glutes are squeezed, I lean back. We shouldn't feel any pain here in our back or in our quads or anything like that. Maybe you want to lay some more padding down for your knees. Once we're done the repetitions with that, we go to the pike, which is going to be a seated leg lift. So I'm right here on my sit bones, my legs are straight. Easier is legs apart, one at a time. Harder is feet together and both at the same time. Okay? As far as regressions go for the pike, again, single leg lift, straddle lift. Those are going to be the easier options versus legs together, hands at the knees, and lifting both at the same time. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, don't worry. Just follow along with me and I'll take good care of you. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. So to start with the warm-up, we're going to proceed with some couch stretching so that we can open up the quads and hip flexors to begin. So you need to have either a couch or a wall or something that's going to allow you to get your shin nice and vertical, rest the knee on the floor, and gradually build yourself up to a nice tall position. Okay? So once you found yourself in the quad stretch, we're going to hit this for a minute. I'm squeezing my glutes, extending my hips, getting a nice big opening through my hip flexor here. And I'm breathing. Some of us may be all the way down here. That's perfectly okay. It's going to be a good indication that you'll need to elevate that front foot. We're tight through the hip flexor. We're tight through extension. For those who find the couch stretch no problem, you can rotate towards that front leg to get a little bit more stretch. Good, 15 more seconds here and then we're going to switch sides. Breathing nice and deep, 10 to go. Good, coming down and switching sides. Placing that shin nice and vertical against whatever platform, wall, couch, chair, whatever I'm using. The shin is vertical, and I'm gradually building myself up, making sure I'm squeezing the glutes and extending my hips forward. Good, about 30 seconds. Glutes are squeezed, hips are flexed towards the front. Getting that posterior pelvic tilt. 10 seconds. Three, two, one, and coming down out of the stretch. We're going to make our way down to our back. I'm going to take my right leg and cross it over top of my left leg in a figure 4 position. And I'm going to use the weight of my top leg to internally rotate my left hip. You should feel a nice opening through the outside of your hips. And we're just breathing in and out. Make sure there's no pain in your stretch. Our internal rotators are often very tight, and if we can free up some of the mobility in our internal rotation, it's going to help us squat and lunge better. Good. Gently come out of that stretch. We're going to go to the other side. Left leg goes over the top knee, the right knee, and we drag it down into internal rotation, getting a nice opening through the outside of the hip. Good. Coming up out of the stretch, both feet flat on the floor. You're going to pick your toes up and just balance on the heels. Shoulders go squeezing together, and I dig my elbows into the floor. I bridge my hips up, squeeze the glutes and back down. We'll go for 10 reps. 1, 2, keep those shoulder blades together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold this last rep at the top. 10. Using nice little baby steps, you're going to walk your legs out straight, just like we would with that hamstring rollout. Make sure your butt stays hovering above the ground, and then walk your feet nice and slow back to the hips. Good. One more time. Small baby steps out. Excellent. Legs are straight, hips are hovering, and small baby steps back towards the hips. Excellent. Relax that up, guys. All right, so let's mobilize a little bit for our lunge. I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to take a nice big step forward into this split stance position. I'm going to hold this position just for a moment, just so I can get some stability. I can get some hip flexor opening. I'm going to squeeze my glutes and drop my back knee to the floor. Pressing off our front leg, coming back up to the top. 4 more reps. Keep the glutes tight. Feel that hip flexor and quad stretch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Switching sides. Left foot comes forward, right leg goes far back. I'm on my toes, my glutes are squeezed, and dropping that back knee to the floor 5 times. Squeezing the glutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good job, guys. Shake that off. So we're going to go ahead and get into the main part of the workout here as a pretty quick warm-up. So we're going to pick the level of the split squat that's appropriate for you. We're going to shoot for 10 repetitions on each side, followed by a hamstring slider. Okay? There's not going to be much rest in between the blocks. We're going to work this as almost a superset. So as soon as you're done your last split squat, you're going to go down to the ground and work those hamstring sliders. Okay? For the sake of my space here, I'm just going to remove my mat. That way I don't have to roll it up every time I do my sliders. I'm going to be working from the floor, but remember to elevate. There should be no pain while we do these split squats, okay? So, again, nice big step back. The objective here is I'm trying to drive that front knee over the toes with control, all right? Just waiting for my timer to roll over here. Got about 50 seconds. I'm actually going to quit. Quick drink before we get going. 10 seconds. All right, guys. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Keeping this back leg pressing through the heel. 1, 2. Heels stay down. My back knee's not touching the floor. 3, 4. You want to feel like you're really squatting into that front leg. 5, 6. Hamstring to calf. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm switching sides. Right leg in front, left leg in back. Glutes are squeezed. I'm sending my energy down and forward, getting coverage of my hamstrings on the calves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming down to the ground, going into our hamstring sliders. Again, I'm just using paper towel because the floor here is nice and slippery. If you don't slide, walk it out. Here we go. Hips are up. Dig those elbows into the floor, shoulder blades together, and 1, 2. I lost my sliders, there we go. 3, 4, and 5. Good job, guys. Come on, back up to our feet. Going back to those split squats. So like I said, it's nice and quick. I'm gonna demonstrate just using an elevated level here so everybody gets a good idea of what's happening. So I'm on the balls of my foot, driving through that heel, glutes are squeezed, and I'm trying to get hamstring to calf. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those glutes squeezed. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switching sides. Even as you fatigue, the front foot elevation is a good call. Here we go. 1, 2, no pain. 3, if we're getting pain. 4, it's a sign that we're not quite ready for the level of exercise that we picked. We need to find other ways to. 7, modify it. 8, 9, 10. That's it, guys. Good job. Hamstring sliders. Heels under the butt, toes are up, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nicely done. That's our second set. We're gonna go for 3 more, up to 5. Just giving it another go at the harder level with the full range of motion body weight. Here we go, guys. 3, 2, and lunging, hamstring to calf. 1. Keeping the glutes tight. 2, 3. My chest is puffed up. I'm in spinal extension. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching sides. Back glutes tight. Here we go. 1, no pain. 2, a little bit of cracking. That's normal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hamstring sliders. Hips up and go. Out and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. 2 more, 2 more. Again, just showing another option for those following along who aren't doing the full range of motion. Here we go. 1, using the external support. 2, to help me out of the hole. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Switching sides. Glutes squeezed. I'm on the balls of my back foot. I'm squatting down, sending my knees forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Hamstring sliders. One more round to go, guys. Hips up. Here we go. 1. Keep those hips hovering above the floor. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nicely done, guys. One more set, and then we'll have a little water break. You're doing great, guys. All right, so I'm starting with my left foot forward, right leg is in back. I'm on my ball of my foot, my glutes are squeezed, my torso is tall. This is our last set. So if you're feeling the fatigue, use lots of control. Control the speed. Here we go. Hamstring to calf. 1, 2, 3, 4. Driving through that heel on the front foot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switching sides. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Good job, guys. Last round for that hamstring walkout, slide out, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Hips up, dig the elbows, shoulder blades together, and 1, 2. Keep those hips up. 3, 4, and 5. Whoa. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Take a break. We're going to finish up with our last round of exercises. That'll be the lean back in the pike. So for the lean back, I'm going to keep my box. I don't really need my dowels. And if you have a blanket or something that you can roll up under your knees, that'll make this lean back a lot more comfortable. Again, if you've never done this exercise before, the objective is not necessarily to go as far as you can, but it's leaning back as far as we can, maintaining neutral spine, and being able to use the contraction of our quads to pull ourselves back up. So again, if you're not used to this, make sure you've got something that can help support you when you reach your end range of motion. Otherwise, do this close to a wall. That will also be a good blocker. All right, guys, here we go. Kneeling position, feet are flat. I'm squeezing my glutes, scooping my hips towards the front, tucking my chin, exhale. Now I'm nice and set. We're gonna lean back, feel the engagement of the quads, and come back forward. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Coming down to your seated position, let's go into our pikes. Straddle, single leg or both feet together. Single leg or both feet together, straddle or regular. Make sure you're right on your sit bones. Hands are close to the knees, toes are pointed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job, guys. Coming back to our leaning position. Tall knees. Feet relaxed. Glutes squeezed, hips scooped, core braced, and lean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Onto our butt. 10 repetitions. I'm going to regress a little bit so I can show you the straddle. Hands close to the knees, toes are pointed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Woo. Shake it off. We're gonna go into our last set here, guys. That'll bring us to about 30 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and do a quick little stretch and get you guys going on the rest of your day. So last set, tall kneeling position. Feet are relaxed. I've got my support. Glutes scoop to the front. We exhale to brace the core. I tuck my chin. I even squeeze my shoulders a little bit. And here we go. Leaning back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 5. Good job. Pike position. Sitting right on those sit bones, hands by the knees. 10 reps. Here we go. Keep those palms flat, no fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. Good job, guys. Good job. Take a second, relax. I'm going to grab my last quick sip of water here. Nicely done. So let's come down to our side here. We're going to start off with a quad stretch. Heel to butt, knee points directly down away from the body versus up to the sky. If you want more stretch, take your spare foot and figure 4. Three, 2, switch sides. Squeezing the glutes, scooping the hips forward just like we did with our exercises. Three, 2, and relax. Good job, guys. Coming up to a seated position. Legs are nice and far apart. Again, I pick myself up and I drag my hips back to make sure I'm right on those sit bones. Some of us may already get a hamstring stretch while we're in this straddle position. You can just sit nice and tall. You can use the ground to help fortify your position. For those who want a little bit more, Gradually, you can hinge forward with an anterior pelvic tilt, dumping your hips forward. Good. Lean back out of the stretch. Tuck your right foot in towards your groin. Rotate your torso towards your left leg and hinge forward into the hamstring stretch. Flex your quad. Point your toes towards your face. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Switch sides. Right leg straight. Left leg curl towards the groin. Flex the quads, grab the toes, and hinge into your stretch. Good. Relax it up, coming out of the stretch. We're gonna come to a figure 4 position here. So I'm gonna take my right leg, walk it across the body, come close with a nice big hug, and then try to sit tall. Oh yeah, get that nice stretch through the glutes there. Good, relax, switch sides. Last stretch for today. Hug the knee, sit nice and tall as if you've got a wire pulling you up towards the ceiling. Good, and relax that up. All right, everybody. That brings us to the end of our lower body strength session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you sustain any kind of injury, fill out a CF98 form to make sure you got all your bases covered. Otherwise, keep training, stay safe, and most importantly, have fun.